So one of the questions I get asked a lot is, how do you inspire people who don't necessarily want to sell in your company to sell? How do you get employees to sell for you? And the first thing to get is some people are just not going to want to sell. And they have no interest in it, and they have no real long-term objective or mission or context in their lives that gives any kind of motivation or inspiration to sell, and you may want to back off from that, and at least you're clear about expectations then, because you can't really lead a horse to water if the horse doesn't want to drink, so that's one thing. But most of the time I invite you to be really quite surprised to find out that people actually really have a motivation to sell, and you just got to find what that is and then make the connections. So what do I mean by that? For example, some people, their motivation long-term in your company is to aspire to a higher level leadership position, as an example. Now, to become a good leader, guess what? You have to sell. You have to learn how to sell. Now, if you tell them this, they'll probably resist you. So there's a way of selling the idea. So you got to demonstrate your own ability to sell in this process by sell them on the idea first of really being a great leader and guiding them, so to speak, towards seeing the connection between sales and leadership. So how I would do it is, for example, the person's name was John. John, I'm curious, so you say your top objective is to get promoted and be a leader or a manager in this company. Really, your word is to be a leader, is that right? Of course, you'll say yes. So John, what do you think are some of the primary skills that you need to learn to become a good leader? Well, Sunil, I think I got to learn how to engage people and coach them and mentor them and probably inspire them to move forward. What do you think it would take to inspire people? What skill sets would you need? I see where you're going, Sunil. So I guess selling or inspiring people, yeah, perhaps. See, I don't want to force it on him, so I want to back off a little bit and let him think through it. What do you think, John? What do you think? How do you think learning how to sell would really learn you to, or teach you how to lead better? If you look at the people who are good leaders, what do you think? How do you think learning how to sell has affected their ability to lead? And so you want to ask them those kinds of questions, but first you got to find out what they really want. And the example I gave, it's leadership. It could be other things. It could be that they want to learn how to manage their clients better. Well, you see, to manage their clients better, or to manage their customers' complaints better, or their customer service better, then they got to still learn how to sell. So you want to find out first what are the motivating principles in their life, and if there are none that you can make a connection with sales, then you may not be able to do anything. And like I said, at least it's good to find that out, right? But if there is something, like in the domain of leadership, that they want to aspire to, better at customer sales, better at handling certain objections so their life can be easier. If they want to make more money, for example, they may have to learn how to sell. If they want to take over the company sometime and be a CEO, guess what? Got to learn how to sell. So the key thing is really to find out what they want. And now I know for some of you this may sound a little abstract. For some of you, you really get this already. This actually works. In all the companies that I've worked for as a coach, as a contractor or a consultant coming in to train them, this is the number one thing you got to find. Because if you find what that motivating factor is, the rest gets a lot easier, because all you got to do really is pretty much get out of the way and let them get trained, because they're hungry for it. So I hope that makes sense and makes a difference for your business.